All right, let's rock. What's up, everybody? This is Coach Love with Recruit Oklahoma, also known as ROK. Today we're recognizing an Oklahoma legend who is dear to me in my years of growing up and playing sports. He is one of the most prolific coaches in the state of Oklahoma. Between football and golf, he's been in a championship game 23 times. And of those 23 times, he's walked away with 18 titles. He has won High School Coach of the Year on multiple occasions. He's had the pleasure of coaching NFL legend Wes Welker and a few other no-name guys like Sterling Shepard, Barry Sanders Jr. But all while he's doing this coaching and over his multiple years of coaching, he is also the president of a successful and family-owned oil and gas company called Bogert Energy. At John Marshall High School, he was my offensive coordinator as we led the state in offense both my junior and senior seasons. Welcome to the ROK Podcast. One of the most brilliant offensive minds in the country, the legendary Coach Andy Bogert.
Oh, thank you, Sean.
How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing great.
Doing all right?
You bet.
Did I leave anything out?
I think you did just fine.
Well, how you been?
Good.
Doing all right? And
yeah.
I remember the last time we kind of got together was Coach Ellis. We had lunch with Coach Ellis and some of the boys, Reggie Tate, Tango, Leap. That was a pretty good time. So catching up with everything, and yeah, hopefully I get Coach Ellis on here soon. Man, let's talk, how's the family doing?
Family's good. They're all out of town right now. I'm leaving tomorrow to catch up with them. But
okay, where are they at?
They're in Sun Valley, Idaho.
Idaho, y'all just travel all around the country.
Up in the mountains.
Okay.
My oldest son is getting a place there in a condo, and they're just finishing it. And he had to go sign papers, so we decided to go up.
Well, Coach, man, I appreciate you coming by and stopping by and talking with me and helping me launch my podcast. And but that's what this show is all about. I want to recognize Oklahoma legends, and I'm fortunate enough to know a lot of legends. Being coached by some legends, and I'm glad to have you on. But let's go back to when you were a young pup. I know you were born in South Carolina. And so tell me about growing up.
Well, my dad was in the Air Force.
Okay.
So he'd bounced around and stationed in Charleston, South Carolina.
Okay.
We moved around a lot. I mean, he moved back to Enid. When he got out, we moved back to Enid, Oklahoma. His family, he was born in Enid.
Okay.
And then through various oil jobs, we moved around. Lived in Nebraska. Then finally moved back here, I think, third grade.
Okay.
So.
Mr. Bogert, man. I remember.
Yeah.
Remember good times with him. Yeah.
Yeah. So we bounced around a little bit early and then got pretty stable.
Did you have any siblings?
I have two sisters.
Two sisters?
One younger, one older.
All right.
And my oldest sister's lived in Texas for pretty much in my entire adult life. My younger sister lives here in the city.
Of course, Mr. Bogert was just that stern and tough and get stuff done and
yes,
all about that business. And
Mom was really nice.
Yes, he was the total opposite.
Yeah.
So I was glad to have them around.
Yeah, he loved going to the football games.
Yeah.
He didn't miss very many.
No,
not
here or at OSU.
No.
So with your sisters, how was it like growing up with them? I mean, were they competitors or just?
They actually weren't into sports much.
They weren't? Okay.
No. I think I took all the sports in the family, but they weren't really into sports. My older sister, she was kind of a little bit of a rebel.
Oh,
yeah.
Troublemaker.
So that kind of made us follow the rules a little bit more.
Right. Did she blame some stuff on y'all sometimes?
No, she doesn't. I mean, she's just a laid back woman.
Okay.
Just very laid back and goes with the flow.
So, Coach, when did you start playing sports?
I can probably start baseball early. Mm-hmm. Football probably in third third grade maybe.
Okay.
Somewhere in there.
So with baseball, was it T-ball?
Then no.
Didn't have T-ball.
Just pitched right away, baby.
Yeah, right into it.
Right into it.
No training, no development, just go right into it.
Just go into it, yeah. So, yeah, and played a little league and then...
and some football.
Yeah, and then, I mean, I played, all the way up until John Marshall.
Yeah.
I just don't know if they had... I don't remember playing much in middle school. I don't think they had a middle school program back then.
Probably, yeah.
I do remember Optimist and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the funny thing is, my first outing in third grade, I was a guard.
A guard?
Yeah. So...
were you just tough, or were you the biggest?
I could block people.
Okay.
That's kind of how I got that.
I got you.
Then I gradually went to running back to quarterback and a little bit better understanding of the game. I was in 5th and 6th grade. I was lucky to be coached by Vince Robinson, who won a state championship here.
Yeah.
At John Marshall in the 60s, I believe.
Okay.
So I got to learn about football pretty early.
Well, that's why you're a genius. Offensive genius. So no basketball or anything like that?
No, we just basketball was just pickup.
Serious.
We played the Y, and so golf.
Yeah.
Back then, in high school, golf was in the fall, so you couldn't do that playing football. Yeah. So.
Okay. How is it now?
It's in the spring now.
Okay.
But way back when.
Yeah. Okay. So you attended. You came up through John Marshall High School.
Came through John Marshall. Had 4 coaches in 4 years.
Wow.
So
you remember all 4 of them?
I remember them all. Clyde Ellis is a freshman.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
You played for Coach Ellis?
I played, yeah. Clyde never lost a game as a freshman coach.
Oh, dang.
I'll tell you that. And that's what, And then he was just a freshman coach.
Yeah.
Then Coach McDonald, sophomore year, and we lost in the finals to Putnam City.
Okay.
Fred Trineri, junior year, and John Sanders, senior year. That's why we're looking for a little stability at coach. It makes a difference when somebody's there for a while.
Absolutely. At coming through John Marshall, what position did you only play quarterback?
I played running back,
okay.
and quarterback.
Okay.
But majority of the time was running back.
You pretty fast? You pretty quick?
Yeah, it's pretty fast.
I know when you were practicing, during our practices, I remember just you throwing the ball so well. I could tell you play quarterback. And I don't know if you played that through your whole time. Who was your quarterback in high school?
My quarterback was Tim Henderson, and then I would run some special things, Wildcat or something like that.
Yeah,
they didn't quite call it that then, though.
Okay, yeah, they got their new names for everything. So back in high school, you said your sophomore year, you lost in the finals.
Lost in the finals to Putnam City.
So would that be one of your most memorable games? Or do you have another?
That was one of the memorable games. Our big. That's funny. Back then, our biggest rival was Putnam City.
Really?
Yeah. So those are always huge games, and they beat us in the finals there. And then I think we came back and beat them the next year, which was a big deal for us. But we were just, go to the finals, and we ended up 6-4 with 2 different coaches, and that.
Okay.
A little disappointing.
Yeah. So was there a Putnam City North or West back then?
No.
Is it just Putnam City?
No.
Right.
Putnam City North, I think, opened in '79.
Okay.
I graduated in '77.
Who's the biggest rival was Putnam City? Who were some of the big names that you remember that played for them?
For Putnam City, Sam Lyle.
Okay.
He played at OSU.
Okay.
Joe Huff played at Tennessee.
Okay.
It's got a lot of good ones.
Yeah.
We had a really good running back named Lee High.
I remember that.
Yeah, and he went to UCO.
I still can't believe Coach Ellis was your coach.
He's a freshman coach. He never lost a game as a freshman coach. We're getting to that, but that's the reason why.
Okay. So you didn't play past high school.
No, I went to OSU and gave it a shot and just.
What didn't work out?
Too small.
Too small.
Too small. I'm glad I realized it.
If you were to play, what time? Who would you have been playing with in that era?
Oh gosh, that was.
I'm not gonna say Bob Fenimore. That's way back.
No,
that's way older.
Back then, I mean, it was. One of the guys, one of my friends, they were Mark Pirelli, they're big linemen. Craig Simmons, just the guys I knew were big linemen.
Okay.
Chuck Bailey was there. He was he
quarterback?
He was a defensive back. He played at. He coached at UCO.
I'm thinking of Harold Bailey.
Yeah, you're thinking of Harold Bailey.
Okay. Well, I mean, no, your coaching career is pretty extensive. As a head coach in football, you've won 3 state titles, 3 with Heritage Hall, correct? And then 1 runner-up finish as a head coach. That's at Heritage Hall as well. Uh-huh. As an assistant coach, I know you won 1 at John Marshall,
right?
And that's with Justin and all those guys, and you won 6 state titles. Those were with Heritage Hall as well.
Yes,
as an assistant. So, but I saw where you're tied at number 13 for most state championships at 8. You've been a part of all 8 of them.
Yes.
So that's pretty cool. The last one being in 2022.
Right.
And so as a head coach in golf, you've won 9 state titles at Heritage Hall and 3 runner-up finishes.
Right.
And so that's a lot. 23 times you're in the state championship game, and fortunate enough, whether as a head coach or as an assistant coach, you've won 18 state titles.
Yep.
That's a lot.
18 rings.
18 rings. So where do you keep them all at? You got a trunk?
I've got a kind of a display case.
Display case?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I got a cup and got the gold balls lined up next to it.
Yeah, I got the gold balls at the office.
At the office?
Yeah.
That's a lot of rings and opportunities. I was going to ask which one stood out the most to you. Say in football, and then one in basketball. Golf.
Well, I think football-wise, probably the first one, 2008. We had lost in the finals the year before, 2007, to Cassia Hall in an ice storm. Came in, and I mean, it was just starting the storm, and we didn't play well, and I think that team in 2008 was on a mission to.
I don't think anybody can play well in an ice storm. I remember playing when we were John Marshall and we were in the playoffs and we lost to Douglas in that dang ice storm.
Yeah.
We couldn't. That was our MO, was throwing the ball.
Right.
And their game was on the ground, and so we couldn't get it
going. I know. But so we came back with that team. That team was really good. I think they only gave up like 70-some points all year, and we really didn't have a close game.
What was the score? Remember?
The finals was 38-7, maybe. I think we played Chandler. They jumped out on us 7-0.
Okay.
And then we got after that. We got after it. Yeah.
Who were some of your key players?
Turner Peterson, quarterback, really good outside linebacker, safety type. He went to Rice, played at Rice.
Okay.
Great bunch of guys. I mean, played together.
Fundamental sound.
Fundamental sound. Just really good group.
Now, what about golf? I know you've been kind of.
Golf is. I know
it's a different game.
Yeah.
It's a team sport, but you got to hope that each individual does their own thing.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny because the ones we won, I've never had to really grind on. I mean, we've won them by enough. Yeah. Where, I mean, some years you've got a good team, and you're probably going to win unless something catastrophic happens.
Right, like an ice storm.
Yeah. So most of the golf has it's been pretty relaxing on the last day. Thank goodness. Played 36 the first and 18 the next.
Okay.
It's kind of different because you kind of know, you got a good idea who's going to win going into that tournament by the regionals and stuff, or you have a pretty good idea
just based on what those people scored.
Yeah. Funny thing about high school golfers is they all still think they can hit it through a tree. So you got to kind of, sometimes you got to take bogeys instead of double bogeys when they try to do something silly. So I'm just kind of a course manager is what I am, I guess.
There you go. Yeah. That's kind of being a head coach.
Yeah.
be a manager of the game. Have any of those guys been able to go to the next level, like play college or go pro?
Matthew Smith's playing at Sanford. I've had one go to Tulsa. Had one go to Virginia Commonwealth. So I had a few that probably could have gone that just wanted to go to school.
Okay.
I've been blessed to have, a lot of good players, and we have battles every year to make the team. So
really, like a bunch of kids come out to try out, or how does that work?
We usually get 15, 16, and playing for 5 spots, and a lot of times it comes down to.
That's all you keep on the roster, like.
You can only play 5 in a tournament.
Okay.
So a lot of times we'll have 7 or 8 really good ones, and they battle all year long.
What made you get into coaching?
Well, that's the story I've been leading up to.
Okay.
So I mentioned that Clyde never lost a game as a freshman coach, and every year we would say, Clyde, you take the job. And he goes, no, I'm not. That's when he's in the middle of all this track.
Okay.
When he's winning all the track stuff.
Yeah,
he's winning. Yeah. And not going to do it, don't want to do it, kind of stuff. Okay. So get out of school, come back. We're 10th reunion.
Okay.
Going up to school, doing like a tour of the school, run into Clyde. Mm-hmm. And, that time I'm in the oil and gas business, working for my dad.
Yeah.
And I say, I'm so glad you got the job. You finally took it.
Right. Yeah.
And I said, what do you need? I said, what can I do to help? He goes, I need you to come out and coach with me.
Oh, yeah.
I said, oh my gosh, I hadn't given it a thought until that moment. And I went back and talked to my dad, and I said, hey, look, I got an opportunity here. It's going to take me away from here for,
from the oil business.
Yeah, I'll come in every day, but I'm going to have to leave at 2 or 3, So, and he said, go for it.
Okay. So this is 10 years after high school.
Yeah.
So you're
this is 1990 or 1987. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. 10 years reunion.
All right. So it didn't take much to say yes.
I thought about it. I said, God, I want to do this. Okay. I really want to do this.
Cool.
We both found out together how much we didn't know about coaching for a while. We made it work.
So you didn't know. I
know a lot about football, but not a lot about coaching.
Yeah, coaching it. Yeah. Now, did you start as an offensive coordinator? Is that
kind
of what you did?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
We did a lot of studying and looked at a lot of stuff, and pretty much started and stayed with it.
Did you do a lot of? Now, who did you study? Like,
well, at the time there was very few. There was some stuff out, but there was not the information that's out now.
Oh no!
And I remember Clyde and I took a trip to Washington State. Once we got that action, saw what they were doing, we kind of copied it, and we kind of took off from there. He had a good thing going. It was kind of an air raid, kind of no huddle type stuff, and nobody was doing it.
Right. Right. Well,
back
it worked.
Then. Yeah, nobody was doing it back then. So we thought, this is relatively easy how they're doing it. I know we can teach this.
Yeah.
And we started doing stuff that some people hadn't done, and
well, yeah, you
kind of worked.
Yeah. You've had the pleasure of coaching a lot of good football players.
Yeah.
John Marshall. Did you recall some of the great players that you've had the pleasure to coach? Did any of their names start with?
Well, Michael McDaniel.
SL. Any initials start with SL?
Yeah, you're in there too. No. Michael McDaniel, he's younger.
Yeah.
He's older than you guys.
Yeah.
He just turned 50. Woo.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's my first interview on the podcast.
Oh, it was? Yeah.
He, we talked about him being a parade All-American and stuff like that, and and I didn't realize it, but after doing research, he was the only parade All-American from Oklahoma that year. He was also the only city kid that has ever been a parade All-American.
Oh, really?
And he was only the first wide receiver from Oklahoma to be a parade All-American.
Oh, wow.
So, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Pretty cool.
Had lots of good ones over the years. Obviously.
Yeah.
You guys, you and Willie.
Yeah. Me and Willie, yeah. So we had some fun.
Yeah.
Justin.
Reggie Tate. Gosh. quarterback. Best story I can tell you about Reggie is I made him practice at defensive back all season long. He never played a game, not one, until we get to state finals. And I started him. Yeah. He makes 2 interceptions in the state championship game.
There you go.
He was like, we made him practice all year long.
Yeah.
I said, you're not going to play any of these games, but you're going to know this stuff.
But just be ready, so you don't have to get ready. Yeah.
And then Justin, I mean, gosh.
Yeah.
Carries it 51 times in the state game.
Yeah, that was. I mean, even though you had Tango at tight end, you had Tony Newsome
wide out,
and you still
just
put it on pounded. But
I mean, we did what we had to do. Everybody's, we're like, you guys are known for throwing the ball around. And he goes, yeah, but
we got the
I
best.
said, what we're doing, what we're doing is working. What people don't realize, our smallest guy on the line is so rare, and those times it's still rare now. Smallest guy was 240 pounds. Yeah. We had 300 plus linemen on that line. DJ, our center Grissom was 330.
Yeah.
Lely was 340.
Yeah.
I mean, we had guys.
Was Lawless? Or did Randy?
Ray Lawless, he was a 240. He was the smallest one.
Okay. We had some dogs.
Yeah, we had some big old guys, and then we had
my year, and then of course your state championship year after. That was.
Then by luck we had a Heritage Hall fullback.
Right, Jeff Lee.
Jeff Lee. He came over, and that's when you could still cut block, and boy, could he cut you down.
Yeah, I bet. So coaching with Coach Ellis, good time. I know there's been some animated games, animated times in practice. He has a good choice of words every now and then.
Yeah, sure he does.
What were some of the highlights you remember with Coach Ellis?
Oh, the thing I remember about Coach Ellis. I mean, we had a lot of go-rounds, obviously. Yeah. I mean, but everything we ever did, we just left it. That was it. Okay. I mean, it was over, and I've carried that on through my career.
Yeah.
Guys, the minute we walk out this door to go home, this stuff's over. Whether we got into whatever. But
right.
The thing I'll remember about Coach Ellis, and it made us good, is we had a couple of about 3 traditional coaches on our staff to start out. And Clyde was always going to me, I want to run this. Mm-hmm. Okay? I don't care how you do it, but you're going to get the ball to him.
Yeah.
You just figure it out.
Yeah.
and these guys were in a meeting, and they come up and say, well, that's not balanced. That's not balanced. And Coach Ellis looked at him and said, explicative, a balance. I don't care about no balance.
Just get him the ball.
Yeah, we don't have to do what everybody else does, and that stuck with me right there. And that's the truth. That's what I've tried to do for, we don't have to do what everybody else does.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to do something different.
I remember it, and me and Mike talked about it, but I remember distinctly where I would be like, we'd be in a timeout. Coach Ellis, run that one play where Sean goes here and Willie goes there and run it. Just run it. Just get it to him, man. Yeah. That was some of the funnest times.
Yeah. I don't know how you do it, but get it to him.
Get it to him, yeah. I mean, but with you calling the offense, and we were always in the stop. Our quarterback was always the top. Like when Delvin was quarterback, number 1 quarterback. And of course, me and Willie were in the top 2 every year, top 2 or 3. And then senior year, Reggie Tate's number 1 quarterback, top 2 receiving. And those were fun times, man. And to be just coached by you guys was fun.
Yeah, we had a fun time.
That was fun. Do you remember what was that linebacker? It was Mike. Mike, he touched the punt. It was one game at Taft Stadium where he ran down and everybody said, get out the way. And he runs and touches it and fumbles it and something, and we almost lose the game from it. But I don't know what coach it was. But he said, I'm going to talk to him. And Coach Ellis came running down. No, I got to move out the way. I got him. And man, jacked him up and just like, what, just all the explicatives. Yeah. And just yelling at him. That was one of the most memorable times. I can't remember if it was Mike Jones or Mike.
I can't remember either. I know who you're talking about though.
But that was crazy. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so looking back when we played, and my memories may be bad, but I don't ever remember a time where we watched film on our opponents. We didn't
have much because at that time we were having to run down film.
Yeah.
We were having to, if we could get it.
Yes.
And a lot of times we couldn't get it. I mean, that was before, when I started, it was the freaking 16 millimeter. And then you went to the VHS tapes.
Yeah.
And
like you had to like drive to different cities to get tapes or trade tapes. And
we had to drive wherever. And then, so we watched film and just kind of relayed at that point because
we were just so good.
I just don't remember we had the time. I mean, we have more time now, I think, than back then.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to school all the time back then, really. And nowadays, it's like, I got to study all an hour, I got something like that. But you have athletic periods and things like that. But that wasn't like that when I started coaching.
Let's talk real about the 95-96 team, the state championship team. So you have, like we mentioned, Justin Matthews, Reggie Tate, Tango McCauley, Michael Cooper, Tony Newsom, Jeff Leap, and
don't forget those linemen.
Oh yeah, DJ, but yeah, they don't ever get any glory. So, but how was that game? I know you said you ran about 51 times, but during the course of the game, did you ever just thought like, okay, we're gonna win this?
I helped out with the defense on that game. Just noticed some stuff they were doing, and that's one of the reasons why we put Reggie in. But we took away
Lawton MacArthur.
We took away a lot of their stuff.
Okay,
and I just didn't think they scored. I just remember they scored on a kind of a fluke deal. I can't remember what it was.
Okay,
but I just didn't think we had some lockdown guys, and I just didn't think that they would have much success. And I figured, as long as we're running, we're blowing the clock. We're running the clock. We win 21-7, but I don't think it was even that close. Okay. It was just, I felt like we dominated the game.
How many? Do you remember how many yards? Matthews had?
He had 51 carries for 320 some yards. I think.
All three touchdowns.
Huh?
Did he have all three? Oh, that boy.
Yeah.
That's a beast.
That's a beast.
Man, that boy could run like the wind. So after you won a state championship, was it the following year that you went to Heritage Hall, or
I stayed one more year.
One more year.
Okay. I think we went 9-2, which wasn't the same without Clyde. I came in with Clyde, and I was like,
who was head coach?
Daryl Alfred.
Coach Alfred. Yeah. Okay.
And Heritage Hall had been after me. My kids were going there.
Yeah.
I finally said yes for the 97 season.
Yeah. So when you took over, when you got there, did you take over as head coach? Or assistant?
Offensive coordinator.
OC first?
Yeah.
Okay. And how long after that before you became the head coach?
I went in 97. I became the head coach in 2005.
When was the first state championship?
1998.
98.
Got there in 97.
Okay.
They were 4-16 the two previous years.
Okay. Yeah.
97 we go. Wes.
Is that Wes's year?
Wes Welker was a sophomore. Graham Colton was a sophomore.
Graham, I remember Graham. Yeah.
We go 7-4, lose to Frederick in the playoffs in one of those freezing cold ice pelting you in Frederick, Oklahoma. So then the next year we win it all. We go 15-0.
And of course, Wes did his thing.
Wes did his thing quite well. It was just kind of a magical year. I don't think anybody took us very seriously, and we won a lot of close games.
I remember coming back from OSU every once in a while and helping you coach. I remember training and working with Wes and some of the skilled guys, and back then I just saw him as just a little guy that just loved football and was a little quick dude. And then next thing I know, he's a legend at Texas Tech, and then he's a legend in the NFL. So
he just knew the game. I mean, some guys are born for football.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I always tell people, you don't realize that Wes is the leading tackler at Heritage Hall career by like 200 tackles.
Yeah, he's all over the field.
He's all over the field. I mean, he was so good on defense. He's such awareness on the field. I haven't seen it. I don't think I'll ever see it again. It was just amazing.
Man. Yeah, I remember, so let me ask you this. Did you take your tradition of your Sonic drink? Did you always take a Sonic drink to practice?
Well, I've gone from Sonic drinks to Ices. I went to Ices I went to Ices for a long time now. It's a bad habit and trying to kick that, but for the last few years it's been Mountain Dews.
Mountain Dew, okay.
But get you a little boost before practice.
I think you were probably the main reason why that was the only way I discovered Sonic. That was like when you came to practice with Sonic, I'm like, where's he getting these drinks? So that was the first time I knew what Sonic was. And
I just stopped at that one there. And
right up the street.
Yeah.
And then I was like, man, was it the cherry limeades? Did you get cherry limeade?
Yeah.
Yeah. Slushes or drinks or whatever it was. Yeah. What was the biggest coaching adjustment or the adjustment period from John Marshall to Heritage Hall?
Well, I think
obviously the culture.
Well,
it's a little different culture.
I had free reign pretty much coming in. I mean, I had free reign to do. I think there was preconceived ideas about kids because these coaches, taught at Heritage Hall, so they've seen these kids all their lives.
Okay, yeah.
And so they have a different idea of talent that I might.
Okay, yeah.
And that's probably been the best part of my coaching career is I've been fortunate enough to just be able to coach, and so I don't see them acting up in the classroom. I don't see,
right,
right.
Yeah.
So I have a different look at them than what a normal teacher / coach would have.
Right.
So there's some guys there that I knew could play.
Yeah.
And just they when you give them that chance, they stepped up. Biggest difference, of course, we had some speed, but the biggest difference was trying to get it all together.
Yeah.
And when I went to Heritage Hall, they didn't do summer. They'd never done anything summer.
Okay.
I mean, we went to 7-on-7. I went to 7-on-7 in the early 90s. I mean,
camps and stuff.
In camps like that, they hadn't done anything.
Okay.
So the first thing we do is let's get these guys away. So we go to Colorado State.
Okay.
To a 7-on-7 deal. It's like a 3-day deal, and we ended up doing really well up there.
Okay.
And that kind of propelled us.
Keep
tradition. And I've always said 7-on-7 is why you do 7-on-7. Some coaches don't like to do it. Why you do 7-on-7 is to learn how to play when you're tired before you have to play when you're tired.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because you could play 6 or 7 games in a day easily and that kind of stuff. And by that 6th or 7th game, you're not going to catch the ball like you caught it in the first game.
Right.
I mean, unless you've got to concentrate. I mean, it's a different deal.
Yeah, can kind of conditions you for an actual game.
Yeah, it does.
Because I remember, going to, after playing for you and going to Oklahoma State, we're running. Me and Willie we were just used to running deep, running curls, and every play either we're running them off or blocking them. So, Coach Hahn kind of taught us the receiver, receiver work, and Coach Copeland and Coach Griffin, just working those different skill positions. But like I said, on being on offense, we ran, and it was second nature to us.
Yeah,
so that's what I think. That's why we came in starting as freshmen. So, but that was being under you was helped tremendously. When did your son start coaching with you?
2006, I believe.
2006.
2006.
You became head coach.
Became head coach in 5.
5. Okay.
He graduated in 5. Went to OU for a year. Transferred to UCO because he wanted to coach.
Going to school at UCO while coaching with you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He took over in 2015, so he had a good apprenticeship.
Yeah. And even then, as he's the head coach, you're still doing the same thing that you were.
Well, yeah.
As far as calling plays. And stuff like that.
He took over offensive coordinator in 2014.
Okay. But still running your basically kind of
run a lot of the same stuff.
Okay.
But he's really kept up with everything.
Okay.
And he's adopted to whatever we had.
Right.
Whether we had a running quarterback or a passing quarterback. I mean, we have to change. I mean, you can't run the same offense all the time.
Yeah.
And I think people get confused with that, but you don't do that.
No, right.
But,
right.
So, we adapt and change things. And Coach Adams retired this year.
Did he?
He's been defensive coordinator since 2005.
Yeah, since you got there. Yeah. Became head coach. Yeah.
He retired, so now we're switching. Brett's going to go defensive coordinator. I'm going to go back to offensive coordinator.
Okay.
So,
well, I see another state title coming up. Are you staying in the same class?
We're in 3A.
3A?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I remember, back when, I was catching touchdowns at Taft, seeing little Brett and seeing him in the end zone, just saying what's up to him. And they're running around with a little football playing with other kids.
They made him good football players.
But that was fun. How has it been coaching with your son?
It's been good. I mean, there's times where we butt heads like you won't believe.
Really? Okay.
But like I said, I learned with Coach Ellis. You leave it. Don't bring it home. Leave it there. And we've always done a good job as coaches on that staff of leaving everything there.
Okay, so you coached Wes Welker. I mean, obviously one of the greatest to come out of Oklahoma. And then you have, Barry Sanders Jr. and then, of course, Sterling Shepard. Tell me about coaching those guys.
Well, the good thing about coaching Barry and Sterling is they went after it every single day.
Yeah.
I mean, they would go against each other, and obviously that made them better. I mean, but neither one of them would back down from each other. So that was. I mean, a lot of times you get
iron sharpens iron.
Huh?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of times you get guys backing away from that kind of deal. Those guys went at it every single day, which was great. I mean, I think it made them both better.
That was kind of like myself and Willie. Well, we didn't really go against each other, but
but you all had who can catch the most.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who had the better hands? Who was quicker? What I always say, Willie was always quicker than I was. But, getting to college, I would always want to go up against R.W. McQuarters. And, of course, he was one of the best that ever came out of there. But with so did Barry play cornerback? Did he play DB?
Barry?
Yeah. Okay. Him and Sterling was on both. And
Sterling played Sterling played mainly safety.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. Because I remember coaching against those two guys.
Yeah.
So my son, Kalen, my oldest son, he's the same age, same class as Barry. And I remember my son put a good hit on him one time, good tackle. But I knew we threw a couple of passes, and I just remember vividly, ball was in the air. I thought my receiver was going to come down with it, and my receiver's here. Sterling's up here. And just he reaches up and goes to get the ball, and I'm like, dude, this guy's freakishly athletic.
Yeah.
And of course Barry Sanders did his thing, and so it was cool coaching against him, but it was more fun to watch him play.
They were good ones.
Did you have any influence on where those guys went to college?
No, I mean we knew Sterling was always going to go to OU.
Okay.
Okay. Because of his dad and everything.
Okay.
And we knew that was going to happen. And Barry went to Stanford, which is, I mean, why not? You can go to Stanford. I mean, why not? That's a good thing about it. And I've never told a kid where to go to school in my entire coaching career. That's something they got to figure out for themselves.
Yeah.
And
I just knew
wherever they go, I support them.
I just knew with us, you just always took us to OSU camps, and so you kind of indirectly, hey, y'all need to go to be Cowboys. But when did you decide to hand over the reins to Brett?
We won in 2014.
Okay.
And I don't know that we were expected to win it, but we won it and played really good. We lost an early season game, and we just kept getting better and better.
Yeah,
we're getting really good. And
as the season
went on, and we finished, and we didn't have a close game.
Right.
Just went after it. And
I just remember y'all just blowing everybody out.
And so I started thinking that this is a good time to go. Brett was young, 27, and there was some thought that he might be too young. I just decided that I'm going to make it happen.
Okay.
That he's going to be the coach, and I'll stick around, and Mark's going to stick around, and it'll just be a smooth transition.
Right.
The best part about it for me is I don't have to hang around.
Right.
I can go home now. When practice is over, I can go home.
You can go home. You don't have to game plan. You don't have to do all that stuff.
That's been the best part of it. Well, it gives me more time with film and stuff.
Yeah.
So it gives me a lot more time than spending the extra hours that Brett has to spend up there. So it was a benefit for both of us.
Yeah.
And if I want to leave on a Friday night, if we play a Thursday night game, if I want to leave on Friday and come back on Sunday, I'm going to do it.
Right, you can. Yeah. And so you still running your business?
Yes.
With the Bogo Energy and everything, and so you did that, man, since. I mean, even when I was playing.
Yeah, 86, 87. I've been doing that kind of. Yeah. Man.
So we mentioned Coach Adams. I know he was at John Marshall for a little bit, and of course, when you became head coach. You brought him with you, and he's been there till now, or last year, I guess you said.
Yeah, well, he came to Heritage about halfway through the first year I was there.
Okay.
In '97. Gotcha. Ever since.
So he's been your running mate for a while.
For a long time.
Has he always been on the defensive side?
It's always been the defensive coordinator for me, but he's always been on the defensive side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I vaguely remember. But I saw that where you had open heart surgery.
Yeah.
Until 2007.
I did in 2007.
And how did that affect your coaching style?
Not much. Well, it did actually. I take that back. It was just a real quick deal for me. Found out about it on a Tuesday and went in on a Friday. had the Widowmaker, just one valve.
Yeah.
Got it fixed, and I just told him, I said, I got a scrimmage in 3 weeks. I got to be ready in 3 weeks.
Got to be ready. You're worried about football, not your life, Got
to be ready in 3 weeks. And it was Dr. John Randolph who played at OU.
Okay, yeah.
So, it worked out really good. He got me fixed up pretty quickly, and I made it to that scrimmage. And
well, good. There you go.
Yeah. Good. So, but what it did is it put me in the box.
Okay, I was going to say.
It put me in the box, and huge difference. Such a different atmosphere in the box. You can think straight. You can. Nobody's bothering you.
Right.
So when I got up there, I decided to stay, and I haven't left the box since 2007 season.
Still shredding them on offense. Okay, so there was an article in after you won your 2010 title, and you mentioned that that was 14 years ago. 14 years ago, and you mentioned you may be hanging up the coaching cleats, just a few more years coaching now. So how's that going? Like you say you're gonna stop 14 years ago, and you still hard at it.
Yeah, still at it. I still enjoy it.
Yeah.
2010 was pretty fun. That was a really good one too.
Mm-hmm.
We were down 14-0 at half to Kingfisher, and we just made Sterling a quarterback. And Sterling ran for 200 yards in the second half.
Oh, goodness. Yeah.
And
couldn't stop.
We ran 2 plays almost the entire second half.
Man.
And
if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Came back and won 28-21. Everybody's yelling in the locker room, and it's like,
but you were down.
We were down 14-0.
14-0. Yeah.
Everybody shut up. Here's what we're going to do. Drew these things up. This is what we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And
they couldn't stop it.
It worked.
They couldn't stop it. And Barry was running back.
Huh?
Barry was at running back.
Barry was hurt.
Oh, he was hurt.
Yeah, he was hurt.
Okay, so you put Sterling at Q. Who were your running backs? Was it Demarie or no?
Demarie actually picked off their last throw in the end zone. They said he was out, but he was in. He picked off the last throw of the game.
Okay.
But it was kind of by committee. Sterling was our running back.
Yeah.
That game.
Okay.
Because Barry was hurt.
You had a quarterback.
Yeah,
or
Cooper
did he
Cloud,
play both
and he would, and we'd run him in there when we need to throw it.
Okay.
But, he ran it, and so we had some fullback, and we had but mostly it came down to
and you said how many yards? 200.
200, and he rushed for 200 and something
in the
yards.
second half.
Second half.
Goodness gracious. was an athlete.
Yeah.
Have you talked to him lately? I mean, I know he's.
I haven't talked to him since coaches. I think talked to him, but I haven't talked to him since he went to Tampa.
Okay.
We used to go up and see him when he's playing in New York.
And Barry is what?
Barry was at EA Sports.
EA Sports. That's what it was.
Ever since he got out of school. I mean, he was at EA Sports.
Okay.
And the stuff that he does, I told him, I said, the stuff you do, the only place you're going to be able, I mean, you're going to have to go to New York City.
Okay.
He said, I know. He said, I know that. But I'm sure he'll do fine. He did really good at EA. And we see him all the time. His little brother plays as a junior.
Oh, at
Heritage, yeah.
Okay.
So we see him quite a bit.
Okay.
He actually coached a year during COVID.
Oh, did he?
Because their offices were shut. EA's offices were shut down. It's all remote.
Okay, I got you.
So he coached middle school. So he could coach Terrence, his little brother.
His little brother? Okay.
Yeah.
Is he pretty good?
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Pretty good, okay.
A little hard-headed, but he's pretty good.
So I saw in 2014, and I don't think I've ever seen this in Oklahoma history, where you win a state title in golf, Brett wins a state title in soccer, and Brian wins a state title in tennis.
Yeah.
I don't think that's been done by father-son trio or any brother.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I haven't seen that before.
Yeah, I doubt it.
I do remember one year when I was like, man, Heritage Hall's winning the state and everything. And I'm like, and you probably won some other state championships that year too, but in other sports. But
well, if it was 14, we won in football too.
Well, okay, yeah, well, shoot. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I guess that game hadn't happened yet.
Well, it was spring. Yeah, it was spring. I mean, in spring we won golf.
Yeah.
We won soccer. We won tennis, and then we won football in the fall.
Man, that's crazy.
That's and
damn Bogerts. Yeah, just winning. Yeah. I don't think that's ever been done that I know of as far as father-son trios and winning like that. I don't think I ever knew you were in a movie or a documentary. I guess you don't. You remember that?
Which one?
With the one with Wes that featured Wes Welker?
Yeah.
It was called A Football Life.
Football Life, yeah. Just a quick little
blurb about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was put your name in there, and I see IMDb. I'm like, that's the movie. That's the movie site where they talks about the movies, and I was like, Coach Bogert as himself. I'm like, wait a minute, let me look at this.
Yeah.
So, but it showed where you were talking about, Wes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, did you ever get to see Wes play professionally?
No.
In person?
No. I mean, it was very hard.
Well, I guess
during season,
yeah.
It's pretty hard to.
That makes sense.
To go. But I saw him playing college.
Oh so. Yeah. What is one of the biggest misconceptions about Heritage Hall?
I think that one of the conceptions is that we have all these ready-made players, and I think that's a big misconception. Anybody that's played us has seen. I'm not sure that we could ever pass the eye test.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've seen. I mean, you played against. You've seen us. Yeah. It's not like. I mean,
and honestly, and I was going to piggyback on what you were. You've won all these championships, and then, like when you come to a game, like there may be one, maybe two that really stands out. I mean, because you got the Gavin Freemans, and you have your Andy Bass from last year, but it's not really a big group of 4 or 5 or 7 total athletes. It's like, first of all, I mean, I think one reason they're always good is because of the coaches. And then 2 is you have a lot of guys that have sold out to play fundamental football.
Right.
Just be in the right place, being where they coach to be, and being coachable and things like that. And it's like when you get guys to buy into that culture, it's hard to lose.
Yeah, I mean, it comes with tradition. I mean, it comes with showing up at 6:30 all summer long.
Being committed to the process. Yeah, I've always heard people, they recruit. That's like,
so have you guys seen us?
I mean,
has anybody come and looked at us?
I mean, if they're going to recruit, they're going to get some nice sized guys, and but it's like, I mean, it's a private school. I mean, people,
Yeah.
And people, pay for their education. I think that's one of the most important parts. But, there are they see the tradition in sports, and it's like, okay, they're winning championships in this. They're winning championships in this. There's a reason why. And I think I've only beat you one time as a coach. We actually ended up winning state that year. That's when we had Devontae Lee at running back. And but I just hated. I hated losing to you, but I was like, man, it is what it is. I see where you've been pretty successful in winning 9 state titles, and in golf. And I went back and looked at the record books, and like you said, there was some. I think there was like maybe 1 3-peat,
we had
3 in a row,
yeah,
and then a couple of back-to-backs.
And then we were going to have 4 in a row, and then COVID hit.
Oh dang, that stopped. Yeah,
we had everybody back. All of them had started. Almost all of them had won part of that 3. I mean, they were all back, and we get shut down. We had qualifying, and then we got shut down.
Man, COVID jacked up everything.
Yeah, it sure did.
I mean, sports, life. The whole world. Well, at least our country. Yeah. But are you planning to hang up the cleats anytime soon? Maybe after this year, or what's your thoughts?
I don't know. It's a whole new crew. It's always, one year. Sometimes you go out. I mean, we had a bunch of seniors last year, and that's when Mark kind of said, I'm gonna go out with these guys. Okay. But now it's going to be 5 brand new offensive linemen, all sophomores. Okay. And you look at the potential, and they're going to be, by the end of this year, they're going to be really good. And then you look at, if you have a line like that for 3 years, it's like, okay, maybe I can last 3 more.
Right. That running back you guys had, River?
Yeah, Faulkner.
Yes. Where did he end up going to? OU?
He walked on at OU.
Okay. How's he doing? Do you know?
I'm not sure he's still out.
Playing?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
And Andy?
Andy is going to get cleared at the end of August, I think.
Okay.
Off that ACL, MCL.
Gotcha. If not quarterback, probably another spots.
Well, he's going to be a running back or a slot.
Okay.
Got to use that speed. He's fast.
Yeah. Would he won the state in the 100, 200?
Yeah, he won the 100 and the 200 as a junior.
Yeah. And when I saw him, I went to the state title game last year, and when he went down, I was like, oh.
There went the air.
There was
it was total deflation.
I was like, oh, man. Because the offense kind of stalled. And how was the quarterback that replaced him?
I think we threw 3 of them in there. I mean,
okay. I thought it was a different.
Yeah. No.
But, if you were recruiting, you would hardly have a 3-star quarterback. But no, man. Tell me how many. So you have. I know you got the boys, Brian and Brett, and I know you mentioned how many daughters you have.
1 daughter.
Just Brooke. 1 daughter. Brett is. I guess he founded maybe a subsidiary of the BOGO Energy.
Yes, Bogert Energy Partners.
The partners, yes.
And then Brett and I are doing another deal called Bogert Royalties. So,
okay. What does that entail? What is that?
That's really, we're just buying minerals in the oil field.
Okay. Is that, I guess it's pretty lucrative?
Can be, not yet, but it's just something off to the side.
I remember back when we were playing with you during those summers, there were some wells, oil derricks and wells. We had to go do a bunch of yard work and clean out, and you paid us good, but but that was, I remember those times too. Me, Willie, Coach Hine, we'd be scrunched up in Coach Hines. It'd be me, Willie, and then Coach Hines just in this little pickup truck just riding. Where were they? Like Enid or somewhere?
I mean, there was Enid. You probably anywhere from Kingfisher to Enid.
Yeah. But I just remember I was out in the country somewhere where no civilization was.
And just to
take those
tank battery and
clean them up.
Well, that goes. Yeah, you worked for Bogert Oil at that time. I mean, that was. Mike Gundy worked for us.
Did he?
That's how long ago that's been going on.
Dang. Yeah. Well, shoot, Coach, man, I got just one last question for you.
Okay.
And I believe you've been in many games and contests where games have been decided by momentum shifts. And so has there ever been a momentum shift in your life where that it's changed the outlook of, whether it was positive or negative? Any momentum shifts in your life that you can reflect on?
Well, probably the heart surgery, probably it coming on so quick. And
yeah,
I mean, a friend of mine had a heart attack, and so I went and got a scan, and the scan was bad.
Okay.
And go in, they look at it, you got to have surgery now.
And so you said you went on Tuesday?
I went on Tuesday and went to under the knife on Friday.
Man.
So yeah, I think that, I don't know if you can tell, but I think it certainly calmed me down a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't
you just don't take things for granted as much.
You don't take things so serious. Yeah.
There's times to put your foot down. There's times to just explain.
Yeah, and I don't ever remember you getting on to us or me or Willie or anybody, or at least, because I did everything right. You know what I'm saying? So no, no, but it's
probably because Clyde beat me to it.
Yeah, I've been fussed out with Coach. Before. So after that surgery, it kind of just calmed you down and kind of gave you a different perspective.
Perspective for sure.
Well, cool, Coach. Well, I appreciate you coming by and talking and having some fun today and just taking the time out of your busy life.
Enjoyed reminiscing.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good.
Okay.
Well, I wish you the luck in next season and however many seasons you decide to coach after that.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks for coming by, Coach.
Appreciate it.